I still want to do me and have, my kid or whatever. I mean, it's almost like, if you ain't did that ish before your kids was born, you know what I'm saying? You might as well give it up. And I know that's a harsh reality in life, but it's not about you anymore. It's about what your kid can accomplish. It's about structuring your child. Like, one of the things we're going to talk about is, just moving around. You know what I mean? In the dramatic effects of moving around. Pros and cons. Matter of fact, boss, I'm gonna let you have the whole floor with that.
Appreciate it, sir.
How does moving around? I'm gonna ask you a question first, though. How does moving around really affect your credit and you as a child? Like, when you was a child, how did that affect you?
Well, first and foremost, when you're a child and you go to a particular school, you meet some classmates that become your friends, you get well adjusted, you settle, you feel like you're on top of the world. And then you get the bad news that you got to move. 9 out of 10, you might not even see those classmates or friends again. So then you move on, and then you go to another neighborhood, another school, and you start the whole process all over again. And you got to move. And for a kid, it can almost be traumatizing because you don't understand why this is happening. You don't know why you have to always switch schools and get to meet new people. You don't understand it. And then when you ask that question, and I'm going to use this old school term, you need to stay in a child's place.
Boy, I swear, boy. That's when you know you done asked something real fucking deep.
Exactly.
Either you done asked something real deep or you done asked something that's just, I mean, there's a limit. There's some things that, like you ain't going to ask your mama like, hey, did you suck daddy's dick last night? I mean, that's something that, you're not, you need to stay in a child's place.
Not at
but
all.
When you ask about finances and stuff like that or some reasons why, you need to, be upfront. And I think a lot of parents do it because they're ashamed of the decisions that they made or, they're the kids' first superheroes, you know what I mean? So it's like when they don't succeed in plans, it's like when the child asks about it, they feel some type of way, or they're not proud of it. So, it leads to other things. But how did it deal with you? What did you experience with it? Like,
well,
after you received that answer as a child, is you need to stay in a child. Like, was it like crazy or what was it?
Hell, I was so confused because you ain't answer my question. I don't understand. I don't understand.
What's your answer?
I need an answer, but as a child, you get that answer. I guess you gotta fall in place. So I just went with the flow. But when you move so many times that your mail don't catch up with you,
wow,
that's a hell of a transition. Being a child, and you never know where you're going to be in the next 3 to 6 months because we got to pack up and move. And then I'm not talking about moving in different areas. I'm talking about moving from one place and moving back to the same place you moved from and move again. So the question that got to me was, "Are you a military kid?" I said, "Nah, nah, not at all." But you know, as I got older and I realized that my parents, to this day, I still really don't know why we move so much. And once
you just gave up hope on that question.
Well, bro, once I got that answer, stay in the child's place, that just stayed with me for the
Oh,
rest
that
of
was
my life.
just it.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna ask it now.
You
know what I'm saying? I'm 35 years old. I still ain't gonna ask that question. You know, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. You know what I'm
saying? You good on
it?
that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're in a good space for that. All
exactly.
Right. I get
Yeah. But the good thing and the bad thing is, and I'll start with the bad first. The bad, of course, learning. Got to learn new people. Got to adapt to different areas, stuff like that. It can be hard on a kid, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't have any siblings and it's just you. You know, it could be hard. You know, and you meet friends and you get close to them and then you got to move, not knowing that you might not speak to that friend again. But on the flip side, when you look at it in another light, with you being able to move around like chess pieces, you was able to build relationships to where if y'all were that close, y'all will meet again. Y'all keep in touch with each other. You might see each other again. You know, so
right.
I was able to get well adjusted knowing that, okay, at least I know when we're going to move, so I can kind of prepare myself mentally for this move. But
like, I better not unpack that bag over there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even. I'm just
gonna unpack these.
Yeah, I'm gonna just leave that box right there because I'm tired packing this same box that's been touched so many times. I'm just gonna leave it right there. You know what I'm saying? But I'll say this much right here. I came out all right. You know what I'm saying? It didn't really affect me as much, but there's probably kids or there is a kid that's going through the same thing and don't know how. The best thing to do is don't ask the question. Just follow suit. If you happen to sneak some liquor or some beer or whatever, you might have the courage to ask that question. You know what I'm saying? But I don't recommend you to, you know what I'm saying? You might get knocked into next week, but real talk though, I mean, all jokes aside, man, for real, it wasn't easy. It was a hard transition, but you know, with the grace of God, man, I was able to build a lot of relationships with friends that I have today that I had when I, you know, was a kid, you know what I'm saying, growing up. You know, there's some that we kind of didn't get a chance to cross paths again, but, you know, it happens, man. But at the end of the day, you know, it's just something that you have to kind of deal with. But I don't fault my parents for doing what they had to do. They had to do what they had to do. Back then, rent was cheap. Credit probably wasn't so much of a big deal then because back in those times, and I sound like I'm super old right now, but
no, but it's changed that much though. It's just changed that much.
Yeah, I'm talking about the late 70s going into the early 80s, man. As long as you had cash, anything was possible. They didn't give a damn
what your credit was.
Exactly. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But when you start getting to the 90s, that's when that credit structure started coming to play, and people really didn't understand because, let's be honest, a lot of people didn't put nothing in their name. They put everything in their mama name. I'm going to buy a car.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it in my mama
name.
Put
it in my mama name.
You know what I'm saying? I want to buy this trailer. I'm going to put it in my mama name.
Put it in my mama name. Yeah, put that in my mama name.
Yeah, so back then it wasn't all about that credit, but that was
You
just
know what's crazy about that though?
what's up, man?
Like, not to cut you off, but you know what's crazy about that though? It's like, being from the generation that we are from, we remember, even on a street level, you had guys, some of the biggest, if you lived in the hood, you had guys who was even the biggest pimps, dope dealers, you know what I'm saying, R&B artists, you know what I'm saying? They had nice cars, fly stuff, you know what I'm saying, things that we used to idolize. But it wasn't off their credit. They just paid everything in cash, And now we're living in a time that, bruh, you can have no credit, and it's the same thing as bad credit. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, I mean, how is it that no credit is the same as bad credit? I'm just like, I mean, to me, I just feel like I'm a slave to my Social Security number. I mean, how you feel about that? As a parent, at least.
Well, as a parent, let me say this first. When I was coming up, my whole perspective was what I saw my parents did to where I felt like I can do the same thing. But that type of living was different. As I got older, what they did, I can't do. You know what I'm saying? So when it came to wanting certain things, you couldn't just go there and want credit. Because even then, you try to go into an establishment and want cash, they looking at you like you crazy. They won't see you write a check. Then it went from check to a debit card. Then it went debit card to a credit card. And it just got to a point.
Wow, you still remember checks, bro?
Hell yeah.
Those are almost non-existent anymore.
Hell, who don't know about writing a post-dated check? Hey, don't
cash that shit to the fifth. Don't
cash that to the fifth now. You know what I'm saying? Don't.
You cash that if you want to. Your ass gonna be short.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be bounce, 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 bounce. You know what I'm saying?
Hell, some people used to eat that little $35 fee now. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean,
that $35 fee that kept a lot of people lights on. I do know that
for sure. But as a parent, the things that you have done, you don't want your children to go through that. So you try to put them in that path where, look, let's get one thing straight. You need to go ahead and establish some credit because it's real out here. You know what I'm saying? Credit now is the new hustle. If you ain't got no credit, you might as well just, I don't know, but you need to do something because, I don't mean to start where I'm at, but do anybody remember when you used to go buy a car and if your credit didn't look too right, what they used to tell you, son?
Oh, you need some references on the cosign, bro.
There you go. There you go. Now, you don't really hear about no cosigner. What is that? People don't talk about no cosigners no more. But back
then, it used to be you had to have a bigger down payment also. Like, you could get any damn car you want, but your down payment might be sky the fuck high.
And guess what, y'all? And they know that they're going to get that down payment from you. And they probably don't even care that you can't afford this vehicle. But they're going to get that down payment from you. They're not going to let you walk off that lot without riding something. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get that bread out your pocket. Now, let's you
Number one.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off, but number one, you know what I couldn't understand? Because, I had fucked up credit at one time. At one time, ladies, you're thinking a nigga got bad credit now. My credit's straight.